Hey everyone, this is your stimulus update for Saturday, July 11th. In this stimulus update, I'm going to be talking to those of you on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and VA benefits if you have not received your first stimulus check. And also I'll be talking about the second stimulus check and the timeline of when it might happen. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Justin and I do stimulus check updates and give financial advice. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you're notified each and every time I upload a new video. And if you find this content helpful, be sure to hit the like button so that YouTube will share it with others. For those of you that still haven't received your first stimulus check, I've been getting comments from people that have taken my advice and used the non-filers tool and have been getting payment dates a couple weeks later, and even some of them have actually received their payment within 2 weeks of using the non-filers tool. If you're not required to file taxes, I'm going to continue to say this, I think maybe in every video. If you're not required to file taxes and didn't file taxes in 2018 and in 2019, then you should fill out the non-filers tool if you don't have a payment date yet on the Get My Payment tool. The non-filers tool will simply tell the IRS where to send your payment, whether by direct deposit or paper check by mail. And even if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or VA benefits, as long as you're not required to file taxes and did not file taxes, you may use the non-filers tool. I want to share also a comment that I got from somebody in Facebook. It was actually a private message they sent me in Facebook, so I'm not going to reveal their identity, but they've been talking back and forth with me on my Facebook page, and there's a link for that in the description below. And I informed them that they should probably try calling the IRS to get their payment issue resolved. They said they had tried multiple times and they'd been left on hold for over an hour and got hung up on, and then another time they were on hold for 45 minutes and got hung up on. Well, I asked them to continue trying to call the IRS even though it's frustrating and it's a pain to do so. Well, I got a comment from them yesterday, and I'm going to read that comment to you now. It says, "Got through today after being on hold for an hour and 23 minutes. Now all settled, 2 to 6 weeks. So thankful, all because I trusted you. Thanks. I'm so glad you're able to finally get your payment issue resolved." So if you don't have a payment date, and if you've used the non-filers tool and you still don't have a payment date, or you just have questions where you can't use the non-filers tool, then call the IRS. While today is Saturday, I don't think they're actually fielding calls today, but call the IRS during the weekdays, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. is when they usually have representatives. And if you get a representative that can't help you and doesn't give you any information and doesn't ask for any of your information like social security number or anything like that, you need to call back and keep trying again. You've been waiting for months, so what's, a couple more hours on the phone? I know it's a pain and I know it's frustrating and I know there's nothing more annoying than waiting on hold for 45 minutes or an hour or more and then getting hung up on or transferred, but they can answer your question if you get a hold of certain reps, and they can resolve your payment issue so that you can actually finally get your payment. So keep trying to call the IRS. The phone number is 1-800-919-9835. Just set your phone on speakerphone and just have it next to you as you're doing something else and just doing other things during your day. But keep trying the IRS and keep contacting them until you actually get a representative that can help you. This is only for those of you that still haven't received your first stimulus payment. If you've already received your first stimulus payment or you have a payment date and that's not in the past, then don't call the IRS. You should only call the IRS if you haven't received your first stimulus payment and you don't have a payment date at all. Or if your payment date is in the past and it's been a few weeks since your payment date passed and you still haven't received your payment, then you can also call the IRS. But the IRS can't field calls about the second stimulus check. But let's talk about the second stimulus check now. It really is starting to look like the second stimulus check is going to happen. The House of Representatives has been on board with a second stimulus check for weeks, really even a couple months. President Trump and his administration is finally on board, it seems like, and recently President Trump has really been on board and saying that he wants to get more stimulus than even the Democrats are offering. And the Senate finally seems to have come around with getting the second stimulus check payments to individuals. So Seems like we have all three camps on board that we needed. So the timeline is really the question. When is this going to happen? When are we going to actually see the second stimulus check? I know you're all tired of hearing about it and tired of, getting everyone's best guess and everything else. Let's go off of what they've been saying as far as timeline. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said on CNBC on Thursday, as soon as the Senate gets back from its current break, we are going to sit down on a bipartisan basis with the Republicans and the Democrats. It will be our first priority to make sure between the 20th and the end of the month that we pass the next legislation. That's amazing news. It should be by the end of this month. And I think there's a few reasons for that. First off, at the end of July, the extra unemployment benefit of $600 per week is expiring. So they're wanting to get either an extension to that or some sort of extra help for those of you that lost your jobs and are getting that extra $600 a week. They're wanting to extend that or possibly do some sort of modification to that so that when it expires in July, there's something to take its place. But in addition to that, the Senate is going on another recess in August. August 7th is their last day until their August recess. The August recess basically goes the rest of August after August 7th and goes into September. So if they don't pass something before August 7th, then it's going to be all the way until September. So my guess is as soon as they're back from their current recess on the 20th, they're going to deliberate and get something that the House of Representatives hopefully will get on board with as well, and they will get something passed before the end of July. And hopefully at the very latest, by August 7th when they go back on recess again. So if they do pass something by the end of July, then the House of Representatives would have basically another week or so. They would have, if they finish it by the 24th of July, then they would have 2 weeks. If they finish it by the 31st of July, then they would basically have a week before they can approve it and send it to President Trump for approval as well. So that's the timeline right now. It does sound like something's going to happen before the end of July, in my opinion. If the Senate passes something and then the House will pass it and then President Trump's going to sign it. He's not going to veto something if the House and the Senate both agree to send stimulus payments to individuals. There is no way President Trump will veto that. If they can pass it by the end of July, we're looking at a few weeks into August, because the CARES Act took about 3 weeks after it was signed, the payments started going out. Obviously, I know a lot of you are still waiting for your first stimulus payment and are wondering if the second one's going to be any quicker. Well, they have talked about making the requirements for the second stimulus check the exact same as the requirements for the first stimulus check. I do, however, hope that they add the provision where those that were claimed as dependents are included in this second stimulus check, because I think that was a huge oversight and a huge mistake in the first stimulus check. So if they can get basically the same requirements as the first stimulus check and maybe adding those that were claimed as dependents, then they can at least send out the second stimulus check to those that received the first stimulus check much, much quicker than they did on the first stimulus check. So hopefully a few weeks into August, maybe early September, we could actually see the second stimulus check actually physically in your hand or in a direct deposit account. They're trying to get these out quickly. President Trump has said they're trying to get them out quickly. Steve Mnuchin has said they're trying to get them out quickly. And I'm sure everyone else is really wanting to get them out quickly. They realize that there are so many people that are still struggling and that the economy really isn't in great shape still, especially with more cases and more everything else that's going on right now. They realize they've got to get some more money into people's hands. Well, this is your stimulus check update for Saturday, July 11th. Thank you once again so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're notified each and every time I upload a new video. And if you found this information helpful, be sure to like this video so that YouTube will share it with others as well. Thank you once again for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.